As we promised you today, we're going to speak to someone from one of the affected areas who just returned from helping on the ground there. But first, here is Akililu Hunqe speaking to South Sudanese refugees fleeing war and hunger. Take a look.
The message that I bring to you is very simple. God loves you.
Akililu, you work with ERDO, which is the Emergency Relief and Development overseas, and you were speaking to South Sudanese refugees that are fleeing this famine, they're fleeing war, and they're in Uganda. What did it mean to them when you said to them, you're not alone, there are people who care?
They felt encouraged. For many of them, it's been a life in the camps that has been of desperation. They've walked for many weeks to be able to get to the camps. The kids that have finally found their way to the camps were malnourished. And to be told that the Canadian church was standing with them and willing to help them, I think brought encouragement for them.
Yeah, you have been in these regions before. How do you measure it to what we've seen in the past to what's happening now? Because I think we can become a little bit maybe jaded or a little bit numb when we're talking about one of the biggest, famines in history. Is that overstating it, or is that what you saw on the ground?
I mean, the need is great. In 2011, definitely the famine in Horn of Africa had better coverage than did this time. The difference is, I think we've been able to have a faster response. Canadian churches and other international agencies have been able to provide assistance, and that has helped before the situation has gotten really bad, before we've started seeing people die. But the situation is definitely difficult.
That's what kind of bothers me. I know you'd said to me, you think the media hasn't covered it because enough people haven't died yet. We haven't seen enough of those images, which is what happened last time. And now people are trying to be smarter about it, saying, we see this happening, we got to do it now. But 20 million people, that's a lot of people to help.
It is. I mean, it's a large number of people who are definitely in need of assistance. But I think the difference, as we said, is timely assistance definitely makes a difference. If you wait until everybody has lost their livestock, until the kids are malnourished, until half of the community members are in really difficult situation, then you need more resources actually to be able to help. I think the situation right now is we are seeing assistance being provided, but the need is still great, as you say, that we need to be able to raise more funds, and that's why we are coming to you, and we are looking to be able to expand the work that we are currently doing in Kenya, in Somalia, and in northern Uganda.
See, I think what happens is it's such a large number. I mean, it's mind-boggling numbers, but all of us have to do something. And as you said, by bringing the church, the hope of Jesus Christ is why we do what we do, and that's why we want to even encourage our viewers today to get involved in this. We can all do something, $10, $100, and because of the matching, that is significant in what we can do, but we can all do this together. Absolutely.
I think it makes a difference for that mother, for that child. And the matching arrangement does help to multiply the assistance that's definitely being provided. But even if it's just $10, if a child would be able to have a nutritious corn soya blend provided for them for that week, it does make a difference for them. And sometimes we don't see the $60 that you give and you ask what difference does this make? It does make a difference for that family.
Oh, and a little bit goes a long way on the ground in Africa. I've seen that. I've been able to give gifts there that have fed like 30 kids for an entire month that were malnourished for something like, $100, like something small. So it can go a long way. That's the great news about it. You are our partner on the ground with Emergency Relief and Development overseas. Tell me where this money is going to go and what it will do.
So we currently have a program assisting people facing famine in the 3 countries. In Somalia, we've partnered with a Christian organization and assisting about 850 households to receive food for 5 months, looking at the period from February to July of this year. And this is the period that has been identified when there's the greatest need for food. In northern Kenya, we are also assisting 750 families, and they're getting food vouchers where they go to the stores and are able to receive a package of maize meal and beans and oil and some condiments, and that helps them to be able to provide for their family. In South Sudan, we are working in one refugee camp and supporting 2,500 malnourished children and women who have come a long way from South Sudan and are in need of food that will be able to help them to get healthy once again. So we're looking to expand all these projects that are underway. The reports that we're receiving from the region is that almost all the three countries receive very poor rains. What that means is that for another 5 or 6 months, there'll be need for continued assistance. And without that continued assistance, they'll continue losing their livestock. The health and the well-being of the families will continue to deteriorate. And that assistance will be able to help to meet the needs that have been identified.
How can these folks stay hopeful in the midst of just ongoing, whether it's war or famine? I mean, we have the hope of the gospel, and I know that does bring hope. How do you stay hopeful, and how do you help the people that you are working with to continue to have some optimism to the future?
I think there's one of the things that you hear as you go talk to families who are facing drought in the Horn of Africa is that of hope. They will say, God is there, God is going to help us. But also a recognition that they're not alone, that they are part of a community, particularly the Christian community, that they're part of a fellowship. And they've seen in the past people reaching out, and the generosity, particularly of Canadians, to give during times of need, and how that assistance that they've provided has made a big difference in their life. I could very briefly share my own story. I grew up in northern Kenya, as you said, and I grew in the midst of a community where hunger and poverty was the order of the day. One of my earliest memories as a child was going together with my mother to the local community school where food was being distributed, and she'll have a wheelbarrow. And it was fun for me just going alongside us. We went to the wheelbarrow and coming back with food from the distribution that was happening. And that was cause for celebration. There's a sense of hope that I'll be able to eat today, that situation will be very different. And when people receive food, they have that sense that they're together with other people and that that assistance does help them.
And that's exactly why we want to make a difference. I know these are your people. Many of the people you're helping is where you're from, and I know your heart's in it. And we're so pleased to be able to partner with you. And we just want to say thanks for all you're doing.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for coming today. And so this is your opportunity to make a difference. I've been told the first $100,000 will go up to 6 times. So $100 makes...
$100 makes $600. Yeah.
We did this before,
Yeah, I know.
I should really mess you up. $50.
Yeah. No, don't do that.
Okay.
But no, I mean, we got the Canadian government and other organizations that are, and I think because we can multiply it, it does give us, $1 is $6 and 10 and so onward. So it's really something that we need to get behind today.
And you know what? That's it. It's only till the end of this month. And so when we know that our money can go farther, that today whatever you give, you might say like, oh, I only have $20. Well, that $20 is going to become
$20?
$120.
Yes, thank you.
I know, I shouldn't do it to you. That's why we want to make a difference, because our money can go farther. And now is the time to intervene. As Akililu said, it is summer. It is the time where they're not going to get any rain. It is the most desperate. Will you join us to make a difference? The number is 1-800-265-3100. Go to crossroads.ca/donate.